Good morning on this beautiful Sunday. We are at Rosehaven Yarn Shop and missed you on Thursday. It was a full class. I had 6 people and yeah, time just flew like crazy. And I decided that, you know what, instead of rushing it, doing it quickly, I'm back on Sunday. So that's why it's so flexible. That's why it's fun. So here I am on this beautiful Sunday morning. I was thinking of giving you 2 tricks this morning. The one about your gauge swatch, and the second one on when you're casting on. Because sometimes, I don't know if it happened to you, sometimes you've got a long cast on of 300 stitches, and you can even like very slowly try and getting to the end of it, and no, it did not work. So how can we have a very simple little trick that's going to help you out and that you're not going to run out? This morning I had too much, but I always rather have too much than not enough. So on that note, the new things today we are going to start the Helix this afternoon. The class is from 1 till 3. And the Helix will go on 2 needles, mine and on one of the students. So the Helix is this cropped V-neck or this round up and long, or no, this one was just a different weight. So the design I honestly like, instead of trying to not trick you, but when we buy pattern, we sometimes have different size, and then you're ending up buying different pattern of all of them, right? So I'm just going to notification. So I'm just gonna play and see what's happening down there. So this pattern, what I like about it is you buying it once. It's sports weight or DK. And what happens is you have the choice. You will decide if you want it rounded at the top or if you want it in a V. You're gonna decide if you want it cropped or long. And even in the long, you can decide if you want this rib to be super long or to be super small. You can decide the length of your sleeve. The sleeves we can always, because we're the master of our own knitting, so that we can always choose. But yeah, I like the fact that they're offering us the choice. In this picture, we kind of see the shoulder shaping, and yeah. So it's called the Helix Cardigan. They are showcasing the La Bien-Aimée Felix yarn. But for me, what I'm going to knit it with, and I showed you already, but it's Lesley's mohair. So I'm going to take 2 mohair and knit them together. This way, I will have the effect of a loose DK, so we can see through. But I like this because this is going to be like a very summery cardigan to wear on top of a dress or something like that. So yeah, so this one is made with the two mohair held together. And with this guy, I'll show you in a little bit the trick about doing your gauge swatch. The other class, well, we have 2 people finishing their zig sweater from Mary, which I was wearing last week, that I did bring to the state with me. It was, yeah, it's a very nice one. It's similar to the Weekender, but it doesn't have that vein in the middle, and it's worn on the knit side, not on the purl side. And that zigzag at the bottom for me really reminds me of Snoopy and the gang and stuff like that. So it's yeah, it was a fun knit. We still are finishing I have a total blank. I know when the don't ask is in the window, it was the orange one. There's the don't ask as a lighter version done with the fingering weight. There's a cotton that we did. I'm going to keep you with me, but over here, because I did bring, as you know me, I always have all my stuff that I carry each time I come to work and to class. I always feel I have everything with me. I can obviously put the names of the pattern into the description. So this guy, and I think I showed it to you, is at the same stage for me. Next step is sleeves are going on, and this is going to be for me, and I just want sort of a short sleeve, and the front of it will be changed, because it can be, when it was knitted, the intent, because she makes us do like a small little front trying. Oh yeah, the name of it is Fine Sand. I'll show it to you. So there's two versions of it to be able to finish this side here. So we can just leave it as is, but what I found is that it rolls easily. And of course, when I block it, is going to be different. So the edging is already pretty on its own, but there is at the bottom, she just made us do like garter ridge. So we can pick up and do the same garter ridge all around. And so for the side, the color, so that exactly what I'm going to do with this one, just to sort of finish it more and have it a completion. I did start the shoulder onto this. It's called Winter Beach. This is another Andrew Murray. People love her and love her pattern, but yeah, so there's always one of her pattern I'm going to say on the go, and Isabel Kramer is so far a favorite one also, that comes and that pops up easily. So sometimes it's nice to try and knit things differently. On Gnome, I thought, remember last year I did the year in a Gnome. It was super fun, super exciting. Did one every month, and then I subscribed to the Grimblewood, that was part of Jimmy Beans, which is a store in the state, and they did a partnership with Sarah Schira, and for 6 months the pattern were only them. And in February or in March, she did release the 6 that was just for Jimmy Beans. And this year, Jimmy Beans did sort of the same thing, partnership with Sarah Schira, and the Gnomes are going to a masquerade ball. So we do have a huge castle. We have the Queen of Hearts. I don't remember all the names of them, but they all have name. And the 1st of June was the first pattern release. So I was not sure, because she doesn't tell us in advance which one is going to be released. So through Jimmy Beans that we have up here, and it's the Gnome collection. It's kind of a, I'm going to say it's a ladybug. So, but it's a gnome dressed as a ladybug. So she's called Queen Dottie, and she's a beloved neighbor in the woods, charming, friendly, and so good at whipping up special treat in the castle echoing kitchen. Her al fresco parties are famous. Everyone wants to know the secret of her strawberry jam. She add a touch of cinnamon, but don't tell anyone. Sarah is extra good to have those little stories to introduce all her new people. So yeah, so I'll be, I'm going to say that I'm going to do Queen Dottie this week, but yeah, so these are the ones. So those are at Jimmy Bean only, and they will be available later on. Sarah was very quiet with her gnomes since January, but a few months back, she introduced to us the more you gnome. So I will not show you anything right now because it's still a secret. So in the sense that if people are doing the clues and they don't want to see, I'll give you a heads up again so you can stop viewing this. But the way that it works is on June 1st, she released the first clue, and she is going by June 15. All the clues will be revealed, and you do not know what the gnome's going to look like, what it's going to be. It's a mystery knit along, but for gnome. So she has a suggestions of color, and she sort of explained how to choose the color. So she does say in there that she wants a pale, a medium, and a dark. And after that, she tells you the size needle you need. She tells you the yardage. And on June 1st, we got the first clue. And June 2nd, we got the second clue. June 3rd, we got the third clue. Today, no clue. So clue 4 is coming tomorrow, but no spoilers. If you're doing this, again, I will show you later on. One thing I can show you is the color that I picked. In Lesley's yarn, she did dye some Christmas time with some glitter. I don't know if we can see the glitter in this one, but this is sort of an undyed. So it's kind of a, I'm going to say a beige with some glitter in it. So I've decided that this is my pale. I had leftover from the Erie shawl. So this is sort of a very, very nice blue. And my third complementary is this copper brownish color. So these are my 3 colors. So the first clue was made with the C2, and the clue 2 and 3 was made with the C1. But again, even if they're knitted, I have no clue what they are. That's the sort of fun part about it. So I think I went over everything. I'm going to turn the camera towards the table so you can view. I'm going to push this aside because that's the gnome clue. And then we can just go a little bit over. I'm going to turn you and right there for the table. Good job. Okay. So these are my pattern for the students coming in. We still have this piece. This is, we're gonna come down a little bit. Okay, when we have a gauge swatch, there is tools. You can get big squares in wood, big squares in see-through plastic to measure and everything. This is my trick of the day, but you know, don't hesitate to use any tools that works for you. So when you do have a swatch, so this pattern did ask us to knit a swatch, and then within our measurement, they wanted us to wash and block the swatch. And at the end, in a 10-inch, which is 10-inch or 4 centimeter, we would like to have 23 stitches and 30 rows. So I'm going to go on the inches side. So what I did is I put doodads that I can take out very easily into my 4-inch from left to right, and then from top coming down to the first one is going to be another 4 inches. So I do have my measurement on each side. After that, it's just a matter of counting how many stitches I have between these two, and then it's counting from this point to this point how many rows there is. Obviously, this one for me, I was not superly concerned because, as I mentioned to you, this is see-through in the sense that I didn't want it loose, and because it's the mohair. So, but my gauge was bang on, so it's 23 for 30. And there is different tools out there that you can download and have a peek at it that sort of tells you the same thing for the measurement. And after that, if it's too big, it tells you, you know, to go down needle size. And if it's too small, then you're going up in needle size. So you are not changing your yarn, because the goal here is to use this yarn. To do the gauge swatch is to bring you to the measurement of the pattern itself. So this way it can look with the measurement that they are forecasting into the pattern. The other thing I wanted to talk about is when you are casting on. If you need to cast on, so trick number 2, if you want to cast on, it doesn't matter the amount of stitches you need to cast on. And when I'm talking about is I'm talking about long tail cast on. Because obviously if you're starting from the beginning, you're just casting on and you will just feed yourself the yarn. But if you're doing a long tail cast on, you need both, meaning that you'll need to do a slip knot and you need both yarns to be able to crisscross them together to create that nice little flat chain going up onto your work. So you only need 1 needle, and what you are going to do is you are going to estimate how much yarn you need. So you don't start far, you really start at the beginning over here, and we are going to go 10 times around the needle. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So if I pinch, well, we're going to go 10, sorry. We're going to pinch over here and we're just going to unroll, meaning that I need this much yarn to cast on 10 stitches. So if I put it against here, this would be what I need for 20 stitches. So this is how you are going to estimate. So as much as you need, like this morning, I needed 83, right? So I know that now this is 20. If I put it against 20 plus 20 is 40. So if I pinch here, this is 40, and 40 and 40 would be 80. So this would be my beginning to do my cast on. So to do a slip knot, I go over my finger, cross it at the front of here and feed it through. This is my slip knot, and this is my number 1. So number 1 goes onto the needle. You have the ball away from you. You've got the tail close to you. If by putting it on, it's backwards, you're just going to take it off and put it on. Now we do have ball away, tail towards me, and you are ready to do your cast on. Your needle can lay down here, and then you can do your long tail, you can do your twisted German, and so on and so forth. Okay, spoiler alert. Boop, boop, boop. Spoiler alert. If you're doing the more you know, stop this video. Have a good Sunday. If you want to see clue 1, clue 1 started with a provisional cast on. If provisional cast on, you do not know how to make them, well, in November, come and go see on the website. Come with me. We'll do and play with cast on in November. So this is the first piece of the clue. So I'm just going to put the white paper underneath so you guys can see better. Yeah. So honestly, I don't have a clue what it's going to be. There is a tiny I cord at the bottom, and we did decreases, and then we did increased, and yeah, I do not have a clue what it's going to be. So this is clue number 1. Clue number 2 and 3 is this. It looks like a cushion, but yeah, I don't know. I don't know what it's going to be, but that was clue 2 and clue 3. And so now I'm waiting on the next my gnome's gonna look like, and this thing's gonna fall apart. So I'm just going to get you off the ceiling like this. Okay, okay, we're good. So on that note, students should be arriving soon for the afternoon class. So I'm gonna wish you a good Sunday, good tricks. If there's things you wanna see as tricks when I see you weekdays, just, send a new note or write something under this video. And I'll be more than happy to show you, teach you. So on that note, have a very good week, guys. Bye-bye.